Hey, it's your boy Sergeant Hooked on Henshins. We are talking about not Kamen Rider Revice. I just did that review. Oh my god. Avataro Sentai DonBrothers episode 19. We are nearly halfway-ish through. I mean, not exactly, but halfway-ish into this series. Um, the main team, all of them, still don't have no fucking clue who Inu brother is. We played with that a little bit in this episode, but basically this episode is Oni's sister finds like a ghost essentially. So they are she starts out the episode and she's really bored at home. She's on her phone, blah blah blah. And her mom's like, "What are you doing just on your phone? You should be doing this, this, and this." She goes, "I don't really know. I'm kind of bored." She goes, "When I was younger," because she mentions that her one old boyfriend is texting her and it's annoying her. She goes, "When I was younger, we would call each other on the. I would sneak off and call my boyfriend on the payphone and talk to him. That it felt such a rush to be secretive and be able to talk to him and everything. When then if ever his parents answered, I was so mortified and blah blah blah. And it was just I like how DonBrothers has this really nice slice of lifeness to it, like along with the absurdity and the ridiculousness to the show and the badass parts with the fights and stuff like that. It has a lot of really good slice of life moments that I really enjoy. But anyway, so she goes off and she actually finds a old phone booth. There's a whole sequence where she's talking about phone booths in general and when they became popular, and now there's less of them because of cell phones and blah 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 blah, which is in character for Haruka, but also is funny because it's like a majority of the like audience intended for this show will probably not know what you know phone booth is. And so it's kind of cool that they explained it still. I kind of liked it. Honestly, I kind of dug it. So she's there and she sees this girl inside of the phone booth. She's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Why is she just sitting there? Well, then Hitotsuki fights, right? Or no, I'm sorry, she gets brought there. I'm sorry, she gets brought to that phone booth because Hitotsuki's there. I think it was Go Andra themed. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to look that up. And they all get transported there, and I love how the Don Blaster just like forcibly just transports them there no matter what they're doing. Like I wondered if they were like taking a shit or something, or like going to like taking a shower, would it just bring them there naked or something? Like what would it do? Like I love the sentience of the transformation device. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so they get there and they're trying to fight the monster, and every time they're trying to hit it, it goes right through it. It doesn't work. Like, well, that's a lightsaber sound for some reason. I don't know. It makes this weird, like, sound effect thing, and it's like they can't hit it, and it finally leaves. And she notices the girl is still there. She's like, oh, she must be hiding. That's weird. So she, gets brought back to her house, and she just pops up right in front of her mom because she left to go to her room, didn't know the Don Blaster was going to take her away, and then the mom did, or not her mom, her aunt that she lives with, and her aunt was coming back with treats for them, and was like, Haruka, where are you? And then she's looking down at the table, like reading a book or something, the aunt, and then Haruka just appears in front of her, huh, where did you come from? It's like, we're not going to have secret identities for very long in this show. This kind of thing happens. But she leaves and sees the girl in there and tries to talk to her. She introduced herself. I think her name is Minako or something like that. And something seems off about her. She's very weird. She really wants a lot of friends. Oh, please, hang out with me and blah, blah, blah. I have these kind of interests. And it's like, those are kind of dated. That's weird. And so she brings her to the DonBrothers like shop or whatever. Actually brings her home. And her aunt doesn't see her. And she's like, oh, wow. And then she looks in the mirror and figured out she's a ghost. Brings her to the DonBro Cafe. And everybody there figures it out that she's a ghost. And she sees all the guys on the team and thinks they're this person that she was supposed to have this date with. So according to her like legend of how she died, she was supposed to have a date with somebody, talk to somebody on the phone, and then meet somebody somewhere. And when she was trying to get to that payphone, when she got to it, there was some car accident thing where a truck hit her or something like that, and she died. And she died right by there waiting, and she's stuck in this world waiting to have that call from him and never got it for over 50 years. There's also a lot of references to Showa in this. Like she even says, Haruka says about her mom, or about not her mom, her aunt. Oh, that's so Showa for her to want to do that. Really, that's so weird. And so, because she mentions her aunt tells her that her boyfriend should be a real man and call you instead of just texting you. But anyway, so they're all figuring this whole thing out, and she keeps thinking all of them look like her guy that she was with or whatever. And she has like a drawing of him from like what she explains it to Haruka, and Haruka draws him, and then it doesn't really look like any of them. If anything, it looks most like Kaito Black, but they all she thinks that they all look like him for some reason, even though they don't. So then we have this whole gag where she goes on a date with all of them. Not really. I don't think Kiji Brother does, if I remember right. I can't remember exactly, but I know she does with Inu Brother, and she's mentioned that she likes dogs, and he transforms in front of her. But she's like, yeah, it was such a fun time with them, and there was something special that happened, but I'll keep your secret for now. So like another person, a ghost that knows friggin' who her brother is, and the rest of the team doesn't. Kaito Black comes in on a motorcycle in a goofy fucking like Evil Knievel ass costume, and instantly a bunch of people are like, "Wow, can we get your autograph?" And he's just like, "Yeah," and being real playboy with it, which is really interesting to see somebody like Kaito act that way. I know this isn't the same Kaito allegedly, but still. Um, and yeah, so our brother's date goes wrong with her. Momotaro, she eats somehow with him, and again, he's more focused on like eating and doing other stuff and not really paying attention to her. Basically, none of the dates, like she says that most of them treated her decent. Like Momotaro's probably the best date she had, but none of them are the guy she's looking for. Well, Kichi brother doesn't. That's right, he doesn't want to date with her because he remembers her name, goes back to his consulting shop, looks through the files, finds the guy she was going to date, tells him about it, and he's all of a sudden was willing to talk to a ghost. I don't remember when this was like, oh yeah, I'll talk to a ghost. But he comes in and he sees her and he tells her, who he is and blah blah blah. Or no, he doesn't see her. He tells the team about it or whatever. And so they're gonna set up this whole thing where he's gonna call that phone booth. Tell her to go back there and he's gonna call the phone booth. So she gets there and she's gonna do it. And I'm trying to think because I know the brain persons are kind of in this, but not really. I know Sonoza is, but I don't think he does a ton besides wanting to know how to laugh, and he steals a comic book from some dude. But anyway, she gets upset and ends up bringing out the Ototsuoki, and they realize if they can help her move on, it'll give the Ototsuoki a physical form that they can fight. And so they have him call, and he tells her how he wanted to see her, that she was the first love of his life, and he waited and waited and waited and didn't know what happened to her, and he's very sad what happened to her. And she's like, well, do you think things would have even worked out with us? He goes, maybe, I don't know. She goes, you have your own life now, don't you? And he's like, yeah, essentially alluding to the fact that he is married to somebody else now and has a family and a whole life. And she accepts that. She at first upset about it, but then he kind of talks to her more, and then she starts to feel better about it. Because when he tells her at first, she gets upset, and that brings out the Ototsuoki. And then when he starts to talk to her more, that starts to bring her closure and gives the Ototsuoki a physical form for them to fight. So they're all fighting it. They beat him, of course, and then becomes the giant one, and they down on a Taijin and destroy it. Actually, I don't think they destroy the ground version. I think it just becomes big on its own, and then that down on a Taijin, the down on a Taijin like mega fight, mecha fight, that ends up being the way they destroy it. So anyway, so that's all settled. As this is happening, Jiro ends up fighting Don Murasame for like 45 seconds. It was kind of odd to have it in there. I don't know. People have made this interesting connection, though, that Don Murasame keeps saying yes, mother, to whatever the female voice is that's telling him to fight and do things. And that there's also the connection with Haruka's boyfriend, also was like known as like a mama's boy. Even at the end of the episode, she ends up calling him and saying, you should just call me. Why are you texting me so much? Blah, blah, blah. And it ends up being her mom that picks up the phone. So clearly it was like her mom texting him from his phone. I think it was just trying to like make it a similar situation to her aunt, where she said she tried to call her boyfriend once and it ended up being her parents, and it mortified her, and the parents of her boyfriend, and it mortified her. So yeah, the ghost gets closure, and the guy's really, happy about it too. He, tears up a little bit, and he's happy that she found closure and everything, and moves on. And they destroy the Ototsuoki. Everything's all good. So yeah, the running theory right now that a lot of people have is that Don Murasame does have a physical form inside of it. That it is Haruka's boyfriend, or maybe Haruka's boyfriend in general will become the physical, host of Don Murasame at some point. Something about in his name is there is a Mura, like M-U-R-A, which is something about shark or whatever, and so does clearly Don Murasame. I don't know for sure. It kind of seems to me like the powers themselves are from this Don family that Don Momotaro and allegedly Don Dragoku are from as well. And maybe it was like, a member of their family that got like murdered and their spirit stayed with the powers, and then the brain person stole that and corrupted it and turned it into what it is now. My vote would be for Sonoi to take over that role and become Don Murasame. I think that'd be really awesome. But I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what they're going to do or not. But yeah, so like I said, overall, really good episode, really entertaining. It was an interesting little ghost story type thing. Not nearly as funny and entertaining as last week's, but still a pretty good episode. And still starting to like push a few things forward. It was probably more on the filler-ish side than other episodes we've had recently, but it wasn't a bad episode as a result of that. I would say probably score-wise, probably somewhere around 9.5 out of 10. Next week has to do with Jiro again, and finally getting the Torbolt personality that will make Don Torbolt the like silver version that he can flip into. And he's got like a whole new outfit. I'm sure he'll have new goggles or whatever, the little like virtual reality goggles. And it does show Kaito Black fighting again. And something about, I'm guessing something that's going to be like Pinocchio like or something like that. Everybody has this like way of like a shot of each of them with like a long nose. I don't know what's going on there, but it looks to be really interesting. Again, I'm really still enjoying DonBrothers. It is absolutely becoming one of my top 5 favorite Sentai. It's super entertaining week to week. It's super funny. It's well written. Overall, it's just a fantastic show, and I'm really liking it. But let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of this week's episode? Did you like the ghost story for this week? Did you not like it? Were you in the middle? What are your theories on Danmuro-sama and who they may or not be, or who they may or may not eventually become? And when do you think, let's play some bets, when do you think, what episode do you guys think the team will finally get to know who Ino Brother is? Because right now it's just their, Tsubasa is not Ino Brother, no, he's just our random criminal friend. Like, okay. So anyway, let me know in the comments below. I thank you guys so much for watching, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. We're just under 300 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for that. I just, hopefully before this, recorded my Kamen Rider Revice episode 43 review and got that up, hopefully. Content might be a little lax this week in just the episode reviews this week, not anything extra, just because tomorrow through Saturday I'm going to be on vacation with my family. But definitely going to try and do some more stuff pretty soon. I want to do maybe a Henshin video or two with the Giffard Rex stamps. And just in general, trying to come up with some different content things to talk about and all that. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay hooked on Henshins. But until next time, bye-bye. See you later. Bye.